Look at your toolbar. For 30 years, those icons defined what it meant to be creative. If you wanted to change the world, you needed Photoshop. If you wanted to build a brand, you needed Illustrator. Adobe didn't just sell software. They owned the very language of visual communication. But as we stand here in 2026, the language is changing, and Adobe is struggling to keep up with the conversation. The company that once empowered artists is now being accused of betraying them. From record-breaking subscription cancellations to a global legal revolt over AI data mining, the Adobe empire is facing its most dangerous moment in history. This is the story of the creative war. This is why the world is unsubscribing from Adobe. You see, Adobe's problem isn't a lack of features. It's a lack of trust. In 2026, the creative class is no longer just a group of customers. They are a resistance movement. Today, I'm going to reveal the secret internal shifts at Adobe headquarters, how their desperate push into generative AI turned their most loyal fans into their biggest enemies, and why the Creative Cloud is starting to look like a storm that everyone wants to escape. This isn't just about software. It's about the soul of creativity in the age of the machine. To understand the crisis of 2026, we have to look at the terms of service scandal that started it all. Adobe made a move that many called the ultimate betrayal. They updated their fine print to allow their AI models to learn from the private work of their users. Imagine spending 10 years mastering your craft, only to have your own tools steal your style to replace you. In 2026, this move has triggered a massive exodus. Professional designers, photographers, and illustrators are moving to privacy-first platforms that promise never to use their art for training. Adobe thought they were building a bridge to the future, but they accidentally burnt the bridge to their past. But the pressure isn't just coming from angry artists. It's coming from the simplification of everything. In 2026, we are living in the era of one-click creativity. New AI-native tools have emerged that can do in 5 seconds what used to take 5 hours in Photoshop. These tools don't require a $60 a month subscription or a degree in graphic design. They are fast, they are free, and they are good enough for 90% of the market. Adobe, with its complex menus and steep learning curves, is starting to feel like a dinosaur in a world of hummingbirds. They built a professional cockpit for a world that just wants an autopilot button. Let's talk about this subscription fatigue. For years, Adobe's business model was the envy of Wall Street. Recurring revenue, high margins, and a locked-in audience. But in 2026, the consumer has reached a breaking point. With the cost of living rising and the quality of free AI alternatives exploding, the Adobe tax has become a luxury that many can no longer justify. We are seeing a massive downgrade wave. Freelancers are switching to specialized, lightweight apps that do one thing perfectly, rather than paying for a massive suite of 20 apps they never use. Adobe's all-in-one strategy is falling apart as the market fragments into thousands of niche solutions. Inside the boardroom in San Jose, the panic is real. They tried to buy their way out of the problem by attempting to acquire Figma for $20 billion, but regulators blocked the deal. This was the moment the world realized Adobe was vulnerable. Without the ability to buy their competitors, they are forced to innovate from within, a difficult task for a massive corporation that is obsessed with quarterly earnings. In 2026, we are seeing Adobe launch feature after feature in a desperate attempt to stay relevant, but many feel like they are just putting AI lipstick on a legacy pig. The core architecture of their software is old, and it shows. And then there is the legal minefield. In 2026, the courts are finally catching up with the AI gold rush. Adobe is facing class action lawsuits in multiple countries over their data collection practices. Their Firefly AI, which they claimed was commercially safe, is being challenged by copyright holders who say their work was used without consent. This legal uncertainty is poison for corporate clients. Big brands are starting to ban the use of Adobe's AI features in their workflows to avoid future lawsuits. The very technology that was supposed to save Adobe's revenue is now the thing that is scaring their biggest spenders away. Look at the talent exodus. In 2026, The most visionary software engineers aren't going to Adobe to build a better pen tool. They are going to startups that are reimagining the very concept of a canvas. They are building tools that work with our thoughts, not our mouse clicks. This vision gap is the most significant threat to Adobe's long-term survival. You can't maintain a monopoly when the world is moving to a different game. Adobe is still trying to be the best digital darkroom in a world that has moved into the neural imagination. So what is the endgame? In the business world of late 2026, rumors are circulating about Adobe being forced to change its pricing model entirely, possibly moving to a pay-per-generate system or offering a truly free tier to compete with the new wave of startups. But for many, it's too little, too late. The Adobe brand has been tarnished by perceived greed and a lack of respect for the creators who built the company. They are a giant trying to hold back the tide with a bucket. The lesson for every business in 2026 is that you can't own your customers. You can only earn them. Adobe thought that because their tools were industry standard, they could do whatever they wanted. They forgot that standards change when the technology shifts. The creative world is moving toward a future that is decentralized, open, and automated. And as it moves, it's leaving the cloud behind. Will Adobe find a way to reinvent itself? Or will it become the Quark Express of our decade, a once mighty giant that disappeared because it refused to listen to its users? The clock is ticking, and the cancel button is only one click away. What do you think? Are you staying with Adobe? Or have you already found your new creative home? Let me know in the comments below. We're watching the masters and the monsters of tech so you can stay ahead of the curve. Hit that subscribe button and join us as we decode the future of the creative economy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.